Hey, how not to write a book? Well, I'll tell you the way I did it. Not the right way. I actually ended up with a book that I'm very, very proud of. So there we go. That's the book. That's the album of music. Story about a songwriter. And these are the songs that are in the book on the album. So it's in the book and it's for real as well. Anyway, more of that anon. How did I write the book? Well, as I've already said, I'm a musician and I'm a songwriter. And I'm used to doing that sort of thing. I've never written a book before. So what happened? Well, I found myself with a pile of around 18 songs. And the usual thing you do with songs is you either try and sell them or you put them on Spotify and hope that somebody listens to them on the streaming platforms. But usually, I have done this, they just disappear without any trace. Unless you have vast funds or a commercial record company behind you, then you've got probably little chance of anything really big happening or anything significant. Anyway, an actor friend of mine listened to the songs and he said, look, they're all incredibly different, like most of your songs are, but he said there is a cohesion. Why don't you string them together into a story and set all your songs in context? Then they'd really mean something. You might have a better chance of getting something away. So my mind started racing there, and I thought, well, yeah, that's a great idea. Maybe a TV drama featuring my music. Wow, that's a great, great idea. It turns out, of course, it's a fanciful idea and a bit over ambitious to start with, to say the least. So, a story, a book, that's where I can go. I can write songs. Maybe, I've never done it, but maybe I can write a book as well. So, what to write about? Well, I decided obviously that I wanted the music to be part of the storyline. So we built in a songwriter who writes quirky music like I do. Well, when I say quirky, it's all very varied. And I want it to be a romance, but I want it to have twists and turns and I want it to be a little bit edgy rather than just boring stuff. So I set about it. I thought, well, this is a nice idea. And I came up with a whole group of characters as well, because I wanted strong characters in the book. But apart from that, I didn't really have much of a plan. I wanted to just see how it developed as I started writing. And that honestly is the way I did it. I sat down in front of the screen with the keyboard and I started typing. As I said, I knew the characters, I knew roughly where I was going, but I wanted it to come out naturally. And that's exactly how it did. I wrote probably very clumsily to begin with, but soon you get self critical and you know exactly what is working and what's not working, and you write it again. So there was an awful lot of stuff that I had to rewrite and re edit and completely tear up and start again. But I got there in the end. And do you know that if I had done it the right way, if I had a look online and looked at what book publishers are publishing these days, and probably more importantly, what the literary agents, the people who feed the books to the publishers to consider, what they're looking for, and the kind of boxes they're expecting to be ticked, things to be excluded, things to be included. Do you know, I'm not sure I'd have even written the book, but I still believe that it's a good story. And if I believe in it, get it out there, get it down on paper, and worry about it afterwards. Now, whether I've done the right thing or not, only time will tell. But that's genuinely how I did it. I could have spent an awful lot of time working out character arcs and chapter arcs and section arcs and all the rest of it to actually analyze it and make sections the right lengths as you go through. But being the clumsy sort of person I am and the creative kind of person that I am, I don't think I could have handled that straight away. It would have been too constricting and too limiting to let the juices, the creative juices, come forward. So that's the way I wrote Fatal Equation. And maybe that's not the best advice to give to you, but we're all different. We all do things in different ways. But that's how I did Fatal Equation. Talking of which,